Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. This is a video I am making. This video titled something along the lines of books I decided to keep out of my box. And that is not very self-explanatory. So here's the situation. I live in a dorm. I don't live here over the summer. I have to move out. Last year when I moved out, I had the heaviest box in the world because I accumulated so many books in this room. Not this room. A room that I had to take them all home at the end of the year, and it was literally a bin's worth of books, and that is a heavy box. So this year, to prevent that from happening, I was like, yo, I'm gonna take all of my books back with me home for Christmas, and then I'll only take a couple with me back to school. So last night I was in a very strange mood, and I had this sudden urge to clean at 10 o'clock at night. So I'm already emotionally packed and ready to go home for Thanksgiving break, so why not start physically packing as well? So I took all my books off of my makeshift shelf and I put them in a box and I stuck them in my closet. However, there are some that I thought I would reasonably maybe want to read during this month that I have kept out of my box. So I'm gonna go through them. It's a tentative TBR. However, I'll probably only read 2 from this stack. Let's get into it. So, first book is the next book on my TBR after I finish the one I'm currently reading. This is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. This is the Literally Dead book club pick, so I actually have to start this pretty soon and get through it really fast. But from my knowledge is that this book follows, I think it's 4 or like a group of young Native American men, and they do something that they shouldn't have on some sort of sacred. I always say scared instead of sacred, and people tell me that's wrong, but for some reason in my head, I just don't think it's not wrong. So it's sacred land, and they do something there that they shouldn't have, and then they get haunted. I don't know. I'm very excited to read it and find out. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year. However, I haven't gotten to it yet. So there's that one. The next 2 books, I'm not actually sure if I'll get to them because they're nonfiction, and I tend to have a harder time picking up a nonfiction book. Not because I don't enjoy them, it feels like a bigger commitment, so it's kind of weird trying to get myself to open them and physically read them. But the one I'm prioritizing is Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. Books and Lala raves about this book. Everybody I've heard who's read this book has said it's something exceptional and something special, and it's something I really want to read before the end of the year. So I think this month or next month I'm really going to try and prioritize it. But there's that one, and then there's also Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together at the Cafeteria by Beverly Daniel Tatum. I want to read this book because I'm hoping on going into education, and I think it could have some valuable insights that I would want to take with me. So I have this book, I really want to read it, but I don't know if I'll get to it, especially since, while I'm doing this, let's just talk about this book real quick. So technically I'm currently reading Stamped from the Beginning. I've really only made it through the prologue because nonfiction's hard, and this has been a very hard semester for me. All of my semesters are hard semesters, but I just haven't been able to pick it up. But I'm in the mood again that I really want to start this, or get into this, not just start the prologue and then stick a bookmark in it. So yeah. So fiction books I've kept with me. I wasn't actually planning on keeping this book out. Those of you who watched my Trick or Treat-a-thon TBR will recognize this book, so that's a spoiler for how successful I was in that. But this book was part of that TBR and I didn't get to it, and I was gonna put it away. It's Now You're One of Us by Asa Nanami, but as I was like moving these around last night, I like opened this just to see if it was something I would be interested in reading soon, and I started reading the first chapter and I actually got like really invested. So I decided to keep it out because I might actually pick this up soon, because it's like really easy to read, at least that first section that I read was, and it's really short. It's only 240 pages about there, so I might give this a shot sooner than I was originally intending. So there's that. But first, before that one, this is a book I've been excited about for so long, and when I tell you I've had the hardest time tracking down a copy of this book, I absolutely mean it. So it's Legion by William Peter Blatty. My favorite horror novel is The Exorcist. The Exorcist is the only book that I've ever like been slightly scared after reading. Like after finishing The Exorcist, I had like this overwhelming sense of dread, and I didn't want to think about the book because I was like, I don't want to summon any negative energy into my dorm room. So I read it last year and I really, really liked it. And since then I've really wanted to read the sequel because I've heard the sequel is equally as good, just less talked about. I don't know why I was like scatting after, like in the middle of that sentence, just anyway. So basically I actually have no idea what this book is about. I'm pretty sure there's like a serial killer and you follow the cop from the first book. Anyway, moving on. So another book I decided to keep out because I've heard so many phenomenal things about this book that I want to give it a try pretty soon, and that is The Nesting by C.J. Cook. My friend Cade, a running theme through my channel, the longer you watch, is that I basically pick up anything Cade likes. So Cade really liked this book. They said it was one of their favorite books of the year. And then I was watching Gabby Reed's video, and Gabby was reading this and she also really loved it. So I decided to keep this one out. Other thing I kept out, I have to read this one soon. This is one of the only books I pre-ordered this year, and I really, really, really want to read it. It's When No One Was Watching by Alyssa Cole. This book, basically, I think it's an allegory for gentrification or something like that, where it's like a thriller novel where it takes place in Brooklyn, and things like new people, like I don't know. I'm not gonna try and explain it because I clearly don't know what this book is about. I have a vague idea, but not enough to talk about it. So I want to read this book this month. And then the last two books. So one of these books I actually have an audiobook for, which is how I'm probably going to end up reading this. I might actually just like turn it on when I start driving, and that's how I will read it, but who knows. And that is Winter Counts by David Heska Wembley Wyden. I apologize if that is incorrect. I will figure that out before I talk about this book again. But this book, it follows a man, a Native American man. I think he's from South Dakota, so he might be a Sioux. Rosebud Indian Reservation. I have no idea. So it starts in South Dakota where he's investigating something, and then I think he goes to Denver to investigate further. And I just think that's great because I'm from Colorado and I love a book that's set there. And then the last thing I decided to keep out is one thing I just need to finish before the end of the year. I have to finish this book before 2020. I can't carry it in there because I know I'm gonna love this book. And that is The World Doesn't Require You by Rian Amilcar Scott. This book is basically a collection of short stories, and they're so surreal, and I've read the first one and it's so surreal and it was like so engaging that I'm so excited to read the rest of them. I just have the headspace of a gnat, and I keep flicking to whatever seems the most interesting at any given moment. But I'm so excited to finish this book, and yeah, so that's the last one. This is basically what I hope or have kept out that I may read this month. Once again, the outro I filmed was absolute dog shit. So here I am again to say goodbye. At the time of filming this, it's Monday morning. By the time you guys see it, election day will be over. Depending on how that goes, yay and or I'm so sorry. We will get through this. But either way, there will be links in the description to some worthy causes that could really use the help right now, as well as links to my social media and any books mentioned in this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope you are choosing to be kind. Anyway, get out of here. I am busy. Love you. Bye.